What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. So with the moves that the Panthers have made in free agency, their roster for the 2023 season is finally starting to take shape. Now, of course, there's still a lot of moves left to go with the draft coming up and just more moves in free agency left to make. But now we have a better idea of what the roster is going to be like, at least offensively for the Panthers when it comes to the weapons on offense. And I think most of the moves that the Panthers have made have been pretty good. Like, I like the addition of DJ Chark. I think if he's healthy, he is a solid deep threat receiver, a solid, number 2, number 3 receiver. Adam Thielen, he's on the downside of his career, but here's another guy who, when healthy, is still a solid number 2 receiver. I like his signing even more if the Panthers plan on drafting and maybe a young receiver. Well, of course he's going to be young if he's getting drafted, but a receiver in the second or third round that maybe isn't very polished but has a lot of potential, is like a great athlete. And they can study under Adam Thielen, who is a great route runner. I like that move even more if that's what they plan to do. Now we have Hayden Hurst. While Hayden Hurst, I would have preferred Mike Gesicki. I think Mike Gesicki is just a more dynamic threat. But Hayden Hurst is a solid tight end. He is a better tight end than we have had on the Panthers for the past few seasons. He is a solid tight end. He is not the dynamic threat that Mike Gesicki is, or the athlete that Mike Gesicki is, but he's still a fairly fluid athlete. He didn't face a lot of coverages that were designed to stop him with the Bengals, because of course the Bengals also have, you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, and then Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. Like, defenses were never really worried about Hayden Hurst, so it's gonna be eye-opening to see how he looks in the offense, or maybe defenses can key on him a little more, because the Panthers don't currently have an offensive threat that really scares anybody. For as solid as DJ Chark and Adam Thielen are as receivers, defenses aren't scared of that combination, nor are they scared of any of the Panthers' tight ends. So now a defense might be more likely to put maybe they're a good coverage linebacker or a good cover safety on Hayden Hurst if they believe Hayden Hurst is a potential threat. When he was at the Bengals, that was never really a concern for him. He was never going to face the other team's best coverage option, or even their second or third best coverage option, because the Bengals were loaded with weapons. With the Panthers, that's not the case, so we'll see how Hayden Hurst fares with the Panthers now that defenses don't have to key on 3 or 4 other guys before having to worry about Hayden Hurst. So I think those 3 pickups are good. Like, DJ Chark, solid pickup. Adam Thielen, solid pickup, especially if the Panthers plan on drafting a receiver this year. And then Hayden Hurst is the best tight end we have on the roster currently, which is not saying much, but again, another solid pickup. The one move that the Panthers have made in free agency that I just don't understand why they did it was Miles Sanders. Now, I want to preface everything I'm about to say with Miles Sanders is a good running back. He is an all-around solid running back. There is nothing that he doesn't do at least decently well. Now, he's not very dynamic, but he is okay at catching the ball out of the backfield. He's not very powerful, but nor is he like someone who goes down easily. He's like the shiftiest guy, but nor is he. But he doesn't have lead feet either. He's an all-around, very solid running back. He is the best running back on the Panthers roster right now. Miles Sanders is a good player, and in most situations, that will be a good pickup. But for the Panthers, he is not a huge upgrade over D'Onta Foreman, who wanted to stay with the Panthers and would have been cheaper. And D'Onta Foreman is also a better complement to what you have in Chuba Hubbard. They are very different kinds of running backs. Foreman is more of the power back, and Chuba is more of the speed back, more of the scat back, although Chuba has feet for hands, but he still fits more of that mold of the speed back or scat back, or however you want to put it. And then you have Foreman as the hammer. Miles Sanders is more of a middle ground running back where he does everything decently well, kind of a jack of all trades, master of none kind of running back. That doesn't complement Chuba Hubbard all that well. Now, maybe the Panthers don't plan on bringing back Chuba for next season, but they could have retained Foreman, who wanted to stay with the Panthers for cheaper. You also have Chuba, who's still under contract. That duo was pretty successful last season. The Panthers' running attack was good last season. There was no need to make any changes at the running back position. All you had to do was retain Foreman, who I think he signed a 1-year deal for $3 million. They could have got Foreman for fairly cheap. That would have been the way to go. But they bring in Miles Sanders for more money, who in the Panthers scheme right now, we don't know what kind of running scheme maybe Frank Wright wants to run. Maybe Frank Wright isn't more of a power. He's not much of a power guy. Maybe he wants to run zone or stuff like that in the run game. Maybe Miles Sanders fits that more. But I just find it hard to believe that they couldn't find a way to make D'Onta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard work at whatever scheme Frank Reich wants. Instead of bringing in Miles Sanders, who just, again, he's not bad. Just for the Panthers situation, I don't think it was the right way to go. If they were set on letting Foreman go and bringing in a running back, they should have done that in the draft. Again, it would have been cheaper to do that in the draft, and you will save money to spend in other areas in free agency. Maybe another corner, or another safety, or another pass rush. You would have that extra money to go and do that instead of bringing in Miles Sanders. We see it every year where some running back taken midway or late in the draft comes out and plays great. Running back is one of the few positions where you don't have to take them highly in the draft to get a starter, a day one starter. You can get a day one starter at running back in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th round. We see it every year. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense that the Panthers brought in Miles Sanders in free agency. That move, I don't want to say it's indefensible, because Miles Sanders is a good running back, and he is a better running back than D'Onta Foreman, but he is not a huge upgrade over D'Onta Foreman. I wouldn't even say he's a big upgrade. I think he is an upgrade, but the difference, I think, isn't all that big. Foreman fit what the Panthers did last year. Now, maybe Frank Reich again wants to change the running scheme altogether, but having a power back in Foreman, your speed back in Chuba Hubbard, and they still have Blackshear on the roster, who again fits that scat back mold, I think you have your full complement of running backs right there. Miles Sanders just was not a need for the Panthers. That's all I have for you in this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up. If you're so inclined, subscribe and leave a comment. Maybe you think the Miles Sanders signing was a really good idea. If so, let me know. I respond to just about everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.